You already know what it is. Your boy DJ Waffles on the check-in, and you're tuned into the padded room. And I'm here with my special guest. I told y'all I bring the best of the best. They only sit here with me if they are the best of the best. So listen, man, I'm gonna let my guy introduce himself.
It's your boy Selasi, artist, producer, engineer. You know, out here chilling with my man Waffles.
I told y'all, listen, I got the African kid with me. Y'all need to check the music out. Let's go to the first project.
All right.
Shades. Take us to Shades.
Shades of Grey. Shades of Grey was a project I put together, which was kind of like, this was before Afrobeats kind of got its footing out here.
Okay.
So it was a project that I did, which was kind of fusing the Afrobeats sound with the American sound, and that's why I call it Shades of Grey. So it had, you know, a little bit of that gradual fusion from black to white.
I thought it was gonna be some freaky stuff like the guy with the 50 Shades of Grey. I thought you was in
Nah.
Because you had the suit on the cover, all that. I thought you was going. That's why I didn't really try to listen to it, because I just thought you was on some freaky stuff. I was like, yo, this dude's coming out with Shades of Grey. Okay, so now, how does that feel? Like, you as a producer and as an artist, an artist first, how does that feel for you to know that this is where the game is going and you're trying to tap in before it even gets
I mean, I've always loved playing with sounds, and I always enjoy music. It doesn't necessarily have to be hip-hop. I listen to jazz. Right. Growing up, I listened to musical like Beethoven's, Handel, Messiah, all that stuff. So I like melody. So when I grew up on Afrobeats. Oh, wow. It was high life music back then, and then it evolved into Afrobeat. So I always had that. So when I came here, that's when I got into hip hop more. Okay. So I always had that in me, and I kind of was like kind of blending the two, because I knew that blend of it was going to be the it sound, you know? And that's exactly what happened. So
let me ask you this: have you had battles of making the sound of the music of Afro beats and, you know, the Americanized music?
Yeah. So the Afrobeat sound, to me, it's kind of like my default. So it's like when I'm making music, it's like I always kind of default to that. But making hip hop, I have to actually make a conscious effort to make hip hop. Right. So I have to sit down and be like, okay, I'm doing some hip hop or some R&B. And half of the time I have to make sure it doesn't end up still being an Afrobeat. Mm-hmm. So it's fun though. So tell us about Express Yourself when you did the video, because I remember you actually showing me the video before that. When I came out of the studio, and you showed me the video. Tell me like what part of the process was you? That was like 2017. Yeah. So explain that process, where you were at that time. Express Yourself. Then I was more into. I just finished working with Raekwon, the chef. So after that, I was working with my homeboy Tommy Nova. He's also an artist. So we're making records, and I was in that whole hip hop mindset. So I was making beats like that, and then we made that beat, and I was like, yo, this will sound like some hard hip hop stuff, but I wanted it still to blend it in with the Afro thing. So I got him to drop a verse on it, and that's how that came up. That was a good video. I seen where you was going with that. That's why now that I was listening to the catalog and I was listening to the music, so I'm seeing what's happening between 2017 and now. Tell me like the process of you making music from that time to that time. Like, how do you were you in a process where you're trying to find yourself, or are you just like, I'm relaxed? Because bro, you record everybody, you write for a lot of people that I'm like, how do you does that take away from what it is that you do as an artist? No, because most of the time writing for people becomes, I'm not demeaning it when I'm saying redundant, as in the sense of most artists want the same type of beat. Mm-hmm. When it comes to my project, artistically, I can color outside of the lines. Mm-hmm. I don't have no label telling me you have to give us this. Right. So it's like I can just do anything. It could be Afro beats, it could be hip hop, it could be R&B. I just color outside of the lines. But when you're working with artists, it's like, okay, if I'm working with, say I was producing for some hip hop artists, down south rap artists, mm-hmm. I could go in the studio and make 20 of the same variation of the same beat, really. Right. And it's for 20 different artists. So it's like, it doesn't challenge me artistically. if it makes sense. You know, it's like, yeah, I can almost take away the music and keep the drums and just play something different on it next and just keep going like that.
Wow.
It's
that was, but no, you know what's so crazy? That's deep that you say that, because if you listen to the music, that's what it really is now, and that's what and that's what they want.
That's the thing. I mean, it's like, to me, imagine listening to music outside of a club where you can't hear the highs, you just hear the bass. Mm-hmm. From record to record, it sounds like the same. It sounds like a medley of the same old thing. But the thing is, life is about demand and supply. You can't supply a demand that doesn't exist. You know, so it's like, that's what they want. You just give them what they want.
So to me, I feel like with artists nowadays, the only thing that really makes artists different is the sound. Like, voice-wise, like...
Tone of the voice, you mean?
Yeah, the cadence and stuff like that. That's the only thing. Well, when it comes to rap.
Yeah.
When it comes to rap music, that's it. Like, if you don't change the cadence, like, Pop Smoke had a long run. You know what I'm saying? Like, those people with different voices, different sounds and stuff like that, it works for them. Some people, I just be like, no, bro, like, that's not going to work. Like, you're trash.
I mean, I love rap. And I feel like with rap, you got the head of a spear, which is the artists that are leading the charge. Mm-hmm. All those ones are different. If you listen to DaBaby, his tone and his cadence is different from Lil Baby, and that's different from Roddy Ricch, and those are the head of the spears. Mm-hmm. All the other artists kind of make up the body of the spear. So it's like Lil Baby, and then you have a lot more artists that are in the Lil Baby lane. It's so those artists who dare to create a lane are the ones who flourish the most, to me. That's what I noticed. Like, if it's an artist like DaBaby coming in with a different cadence, all he took was a Ludacris lane, which was left wide open when Ludacris vacated. I can understand that. All the animation, Missy Elliott type animation when it comes to videos and stuff. And that made sense because it was a demand that was left vacated. You know? All right.
So So now, with that being said, when it comes to Afrobeats and the music that you make, you can't say that a lot of it sounds alike?
Now, being a producer...
I'm telling you, I'm a DJ and I know... that it's a couple of songs that around the same BPM,
I mean, but I feel like
there's a lot of people that
kind of have the same. But that's what I feel like is the same. For me, it's human nature.
Okay.
You could go buy a shirt that's a dope shirt and walk down the street. Somebody look at that shit and be like, "Yo, I want me one just like that."
Right.
And they'll go buy one just because they saw you with it. That's why they are influencers. Okay. They influence people's decisions. That's the whole point. So it's like you have artists who are influencers, musical influencers. Like when they drop a record, that's going to be the sound for the summer. And every artist who comes after that wants the same thing. I need something like The Box, Roddy Ricch. And it's the same.
Do you get those?
Oh, come on, man. Like I want something that sounds like Roddy Ricch, but with the hi-hats of Lil Baby. And then with the drums of like,
that's a whole art project to put together, all that. Like, I'm gonna create something like that. So I feel like Afrobeats is like, it's like a breath of fresh air. Like, you can listen to the songs and you can breathe more. Yeah. With rap music, it's just like boom, 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 boom. But then when you hear Afrobeats, it's just like it's a vibe. It's like it's calming. It kind of gets you to move and stuff like that, and you don't really have to think too much. You probably don't even know what they're talking about half of the time anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, it sounds good, and you like, okay, I'm going to dance to this, I'm going to dance to this, fall going to come on, I'm going to dance to this. Yeah. You got Party Next Door, might drop something with Rihanna, add that. You know what I'm saying? Because it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Why you think that? Like
I feel like, I think music is deeper than what we look at on the surface.
Right.
So, music is a soundtrack to life. Mm-hmm. If you take Afrobeats and you visualize what Afrobeats looks like to you, you'll think of coconuts, water, some Mai Tais or some drinks. Mm-hmm. And if you go to Africa and look on the shores, that's what you will see. If I take hip hop music, I can visualize what it looks like. I go to the hood, that's what I'll see. I take a Rihanna record, man down, rum, pa pa pum. I can visualize what I'll see. When I go there, that's what I'll see. It's a lyrical painting of what is around them. You know, so it's
how do you break apart? Because I know that you're in the studio a lot and you're working with people, writing for people, producing for people. How do you break away and be like, okay, now it's time for me? How do you get a clear headspace to be able to record Selasi after, like, because that's a lot to take in, bro. Like, I don't want to be in a studio where everybody want to smoke and rappers want to rap all day, all night, and girls want to be in there, like, and then I got to come back and make records like this after I done dealt with that. I need to know the mindset. Like, what's...
That's my escape. That's my clearing my mind.
Getting away from all of that and doing...
Doing my music is clearing my mind from all that. Because it's different, and if you listen to the music and put a glass of water down and play the music, it's a different frequency. It vibrates at a different frequency.
I ain't never tried that one. That was some scientific shit you just dropped. I don't know if it's the glasses or the hat or something. I mean, it's like some smart shit coming from this side of the interview, and it's just like some nigga shit just coming from on this side of the interview, because he just said you put it in like a glass, the motherfucker just start trembling. That's like you gonna hear the baby, this shit gonna tremble, and you play his shit. This shit just going.
I mean, you know, sound is gonna the waves is gonna affect water, and we made up of what 75% water.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So
see, he just getting more smarter now. Like, don't stop for me.
I mean, I feel like in order to make music, you have to break it down to a science in order to really understand it, because it's not by chance that someone just comes up with a hit. It's like you have to. If you want to keep doing it and last long, you have to break it down and figure out, okay, why is this a hit? You know, what makes people like this record? What keys in it? What feeling does it have? What lyrics? All that makes up a hit. So once you can break it down and you break it down, figure out what made a hit, then you can assemble it back together and do it again. That's why you have a lot of artists who know the science. They can keep giving you hits. Like Drake, he can keep doing it because he has figured out the formula behind.
What is the formula?
It's just feel good music, but you have to, at the same time, you have to be very picky about the type of tracks you get on, because tracks, if you play the track by itself, it conveys a feeling.
I don't think artists really take the time out to do that. They just probably get beats and then they just get on them and be like, hey, this is a song. Because I've heard good beats and I'll be like, that was a bad rap. Or good beats and that was like a bad song, but the beat can still buy you just enough. And that's how I feel like the baby. I feel like he just finds like the right ones. I feel like the baby, he just finds the right words. You get what I'm saying? And he kind of knows how to do it. Some people just can't do that. Just think about 50 Cent. 50 Cent is like he found the right words and then he found the right beats, but at the same time he was taught how to make his words sound like instruments on beats. So it's like a perfect match.
It's something I feel like every artist has to learn. That was part of artist development back in the day, which, you know, got scratched from the whole scene. So right now it's more about throw 20 stones at an object and see which one hits it, as opposed to perfect your aim so that you can go 1 for 1, 2 for 2, 3 for 3. You know.
So why a single for you and not a project for you right now?
I think the attention span of people right now is very, very short. Mm-hmm. And if I have a project of 10 songs and I drop 10 songs today, it's going to be over in 2-3 weeks. Mm-hmm. But if I drop one song a month for 10 months, I just made noise over a period of almost a year. And in people's eyes, it'll be consistent.
Does the music game make you scared a little bit now, because how people really don't take in music as much? Because like you said, people drop like immediately, and you like where's Meek Mill's Expensive Pain at? Like no more.
Where's Kanye's Donda at?
Right, exactly. So to me, I'm like, and then Drake is like still there because Drake like had multiple hits and like it's running everywhere on the radio. But I'm like, does that make you nervous in a realm of like all this music that's out right now to be like, damn, I'm a drop, but who's really gonna listen? Because people are listening, but they're not gravitating because it's just coming out at a high speed right now.
Yeah, I mean those questions do exist, but the other time I was in Ghana, I was at this club called Sandbox. It's right there on the beach, and I was just chilling, clearing my mind, and then somebody came up to me and was like, "Yo, I love your music, man. Yo, man, keep dropping them."
Wow.
And it's things like that kind of motivate me. It's like, yo, when you think no one is watching or no one is listening, people are. So it's not like you're doing it for the world to see. You're doing it, number one, because that's what you love to do, and you do it, number two, because it's whoever it's touching, you want to keep touching them. And when that break happens, the backdraft kind of drags the whole catalog with it. It's like if I put out this record today and it goes viral and go crazy, people will be like, oh, okay, let's see what else you got. Now they're going to start going back. It's going to bring all the streaming numbers of everything up. So it's like it's better to have a catalog. It's like you put a captivating picture up on Instagram and people are like, oh man, this is hot. Like, then the next thing they do is they go into the profile to see what else you got.
Right.
Now, depending on how much content you got up, you're going to hold their attention for that long on your page. Mm-hmm. If you have just one, they're going to be like, oh, okay, well, next.
So what have you changed from your formula of dropping music before to now? What's your gameplay for this record? How are you gonna push this out now? Like, what's different from any other time of your releases?
I'm not doing a lot at all. Like when I say a lot at all, is so back in the day, it's like you push and it's like the whole approach is more hands-on, like physical. This is straight digital, and I haven't even shot a video yet, because for me it's like I'm putting records out, and the demand or the streaming numbers are going to tell me which one to shoot a video for. So it's like I'm not just going to be shooting in the dark. I'm gonna shoot in the direction of the noise.
So how many songs do you think you'll put out before you go back to the drawing board and be like, okay, this is when I'm ready?
Just keep dropping them. I mean, for me, it's not like I have to go and talk to somebody to give me a beat. So I don't have to talk to nobody to record me or to mix it or to.
Yeah, exactly.
So I really have a catalog. I could drop music from now till. I really could do that if I wanted to.
Yo, you know what's so crazy, right? I feel like people can become artists without even becoming artists nowadays, if that makes sense. Like, you could, if you put out a record, you could sit home and upload a record and just let it do what it's going to do, promote the song and all that stuff like that, and never do a show in the world and just start making money off streaming. Yeah, that's like such a cheat code for no apparent reason. Like, why though?
Because everything is
that's
like Russ says, before he even went on tour, his streaming numbers were crazy. Like he says, to him, tour is like a vacation.
Wow.
Like he doesn't need tour.
That's insane.
It's like you have, instead of selling physical CDs to people in Atlanta, you have the whole world that's your oyster. Like, I'm gonna drop this. All you have to do really is digital marketing. That's really it. Let people hear it.
So tell us about your new single that you got out right now.
It's called NMB, which means none of my business. It's Afro beats, Afro fusion, Afro pop, all that. I actually incorporate a new sound out of South Africa called Amapiano, which is a new African sound.
Speaking of Africa,
yep.
I'm gonna need you to call somebody or something, because I'm having an issue, right?
With what?
With Uncle Waffles. Have you heard of her?
No.
Okay. Yeah, we need. Well, I don't even know why I brought her up there, but yeah, she's from
South Africa.
Yes, and she played one of Drake's records, and she went viral, and now everybody's keep on following me and tagging me, that thinking that I'm this female DJ from out there named Uncle Waffles. And I'm trying to find her. so we could sit down and have a conversation. And I just thought that you probably would know.
And go stone, paper, scissors on who keeps the name. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna have to battle you for that. Well, she's Uncle Waffles, so that's fine. She could be Uncle Waffles or whatever. But she played one of Drake's records.
She's a female called Uncle?
Uncle Waffles. Uncle Waffles with a whole bunch of S's or L's, one of them things or whatever. But shout out to her or whatever. I give her a little bit of love. Because my guy here, the African kid, saved you. So tell us a little bit more about the record.
Yeah, so it's like I said, Afro pop, Afrobeat vibe, and the whole point of this is, for me, was trying to forecast again, like, okay, this is where it's Afrobeats going, and for me, in my head, I picture the fusion with that and then house music, kind of creating some sort of a semi-type house, Afro house. So that's kind of where I was going with this, and it felt good, and for me, that's more important than anything, the feeling, and
Yeah, I love the record. I just can't see. I think you're on to something again. So if you're on to something again, I think this time we need to do it together.
Oh, okay, let's get it on it. I know I'm onto something. You know why I said I'm onto something? When I was moving to America, my mom was like, "Okay, I'll pay for tuition for you to go to college anywhere." I said,
right.
"Okay, where you want to go?" I said, "You know what? I'm going to Atlanta." And you know why I said
out of
Atlanta?
all places?
Because I looked at the cover of I looked at Jagged So Def. That was
right.
Atlanta. LaFace was Atlanta. Outkast was Atlanta. I said, Atlanta? Oh, that's where I'm going. Atlanta. And when I came here, that was early 2000s.
It's like some coming to America shit.
When I came here and this music popped and came to Atlanta, I was like, okay, so I'm always ahead of the curve, man. That was the first, Afrobeat second.
Like, who have you recorded? Like, who have you been in the studio with?
Recently, I did this African artist called Stoneboy. Mm-hmm. He actually dropped a single 3 weeks ago, which I produced. And then the one before that was with him and Kerry Hilson. Actually went #1 in Africa. I had that record for a little bit.
It's some money, guys. It's some money. Y'all thought he was wearing them glasses for nothing. It's some action going over there. The money in that bag right there. You see that bag? That's where the money at. So and let the world know who you worked with too, bro.
Of course I've done Rashida, I've done Jagged Edge, I've done Keisha Cole, Candy from Escape. I've worked with who else? 2 Chainz. Who else? I know I'm missing somebody. Lil Baby. I was in the studio with Lil Baby the other night. Who else? I know I'm missing somebody.
So let me ask you this: do people take you serious when they ask to hear your music? Because, bro, when you in the studio, it's just like you on work time. Like, bro, you don't even.
Yeah, it's because
you work like fast. So it's like, bro, y'all just got to see him in the studio, and you be like. You walk out, you come back, he be like, yeah, the song's mixed, done, and everything. I'll be like, what, bro? We was only outside for like 6 minutes. He's like, yeah, the song's done. You want to punch in? This, that, third, done.
I mean, it's like, I figure as a creative, when you're behind the mic, a lot of artists kind of don't write, so they behind the mic kind of writing on the mic.
Right.
So it's like, when you slow, you kind of steal their thoughts away from them. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. So it's like, I make it a habit to kind of be almost faster than they could create their words. Right,
makes sense. Makes sense. So what else can we expect from you, man?
Doing a little bit of acting.
Okay.
So I'm doing that, and then of course some more music, some more production. I have working on Stoneboy's new project that's coming out top of the year. What else I got? I also did a record on this artist called Brandon J. Great artist who was on songwriter. It was a TV show on NBC called Songland.
Okay.
Yeah, he's real dope, but he just dropped an EP, and I got a record on there too. So.
Money going on over here. So before we get out of here, do you got any shows coming up or anything like that?
No, not yet. Not in the COVID season. Not in the COVID season. I was supposed to actually...
Something ain't right about this, bro. I'm like, we gonna talk about this offline because I just feel like it's some stuff going on that I need to get. I don't know, bro. Like, You throwing out this good music, but you're not gonna do no shows, bro. Like you can't like how do you find beats for like Afro? Like how do you find parties or performances that you need to go to perform music? Yes.
Oh, it's a lot of clubs in Atlanta I could do that, but it's like for me it's more about dropping music and let people hear it, and then when the demand is there, and the demand is deafening, then I'll shoot in that direction. It's like I feel like the energy I'll go to chase out to perform for 20 people, which is lovely. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. I can promote the same record on Instagram and reach 2,000 people with $10.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna let you have that.
I mean, it's a numbers game, and it's either we're gonna play the numbers game or we're gonna play the artist game. And it's like for me, it's just a numbers game. I'm not mad at it at all.
There you go.
So I mean, I was actually going to do what I was actually planning on doing was doing a live show, a live version of the song, and film it and put it out, and then promote it online too. So that way I don't have to be running around doing that. Like that's
you could just go watch the live show, and then you learn something new every day. So before we get out of here, let everybody know how they can follow you on social media.
My handle is Selasi Music, which is SELASI Music. Music spelled the right way, like someone who's educated. MUSIC. That was a jab anyway.
I picked it up.
That was a jab. And it's Selasi Music on all platforms. Please. Instagram and all that. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Selasi Music, Selasi Music, Selasi Music.
Interview dropping in 2023.
Yeah.
That was my jab. 2023. All right, y'all already know what it is. Your boy DJ Waffles on the check-in, man. Make sure y'all go check out my guy Selasi, man. His music is going crazy. Definitely a good vibe, man. You heard it here first. 8.
Yep.
Bow.